Hi everybody and welcome to our intro to the class video for our U.S. History B course. Now for most of you that took U.S. History A online, this is going to be a little recap for you and a lot of stuff that you may know already. But for those of you that are new, it's a good idea to watch this to make sure that you know exactly how the class runs and get some tips and tricks on how you can kind of speed up the process and make sure that you have everything that you need to know. Now, one of the things we want to see right away is at the top. This is where you'll always get your Monday morning message. And the Monday morning message is just something that we sum up the whole week and make sure that we go through everything and make sure that you know exactly what to expect for that week. Now, just under that, this is your student orientation. So you'll complete that first. Now, what you have then is our teacher contact information. Now, this has my email, it has my appointment signups, it has my Zoom link, it has my office hours. We want to make sure that you have everything that you need in order to be successful in the course. And if you have questions, we want to make sure you know exactly where to reach out. And so you have that information and don't be afraid to use it. I always say, like, if you have questions, definitely let me know right away. So I'd rather have you know the answer than be frustrated, right? Now, the important part and where you'll spend most of your time is right here in this current folder. Now, this current folder has our works and has our work, and the first thing that you see at the top is our work completion date. Now, this is our course calendar. So this gives us our kind of our syllabus, our kind of our course calendar for the trimester, and it just tells us what's due each week. And so you have each week laid out, and you'll notice that we have nothing that last week, and that gives us a little bit of catch-up time for those that need it at the end. But when you go in to start the course then, you'll go into Unit 6. Now the first thing that you'll do is go through this opening day assignment and course tour. Now as you go through there, you'll notice I have go through your go through items in the class, go through your orientation folder, go through your resources folder, go through your syllabus, go through everything. This walks you through everything, making sure that you go through and have everything that you need. So that's the first part. Now, once you get into the assignments, these vary a little bit. And so we do a mixture of our new online textbook, and we do some from PDFs and an online textbook that I provide in our resources for you. So we have a couple different sources that we get things from. Now, when you see items like this is typically where you're going to go in and you're going to answer questions. So if I go into this first lesson, War in the West, I go through, I say, okay, here's my link, here's my resource. These are my instructions. I'm going to use this resource to answer these questions here. And so you'll kind of work through information that way. And so those are usually pretty easy for people to understand. So that's this type of assignment. Now this type means that you're going to have to do some writing. It's linked to a Google assignment in there somewhere. And so if I go to this lesson 4, expanding to the West, okay, I see the assignment. When I go into it, I click here. And then there's your assignment. So I have my resource, and then here's where I answer then. And so you'll notice with each one of those assignments is we have those linked out so that you have access to them. It creates a copy for you. And so you have really two different types. One that you're answering, like matching multiple choice, one where you're providing the answer. Now, one of the things that we want to make sure is that when you are providing the answer, that's in your own words. Okay, so use the resource I give you. So a lot of times I'll tell students like, hey, your answer is exactly right, but you're answering the wrong questions because they're just trying to look it up online. Use the resource that we give you. That's going to help ensure that you've got the exact right information that you need. Saves you a lot of time and hassle. Saves me a lot of time and hassle from contacting you saying, hey, you're a little off base on this one. So just make sure that you're doing your best to put those in your own words. So that's kind of how the course is set up. Here you have an Edpuzzle, a video that you have to watch, answer those questions. Then at the end of each one of these units, you have a test. So here's our test for chapter 15 and 16, which is going through all of these items and using that textbook with the resources that I give you. Okay, so that's kind of how the assignments work. Now we have 4 units this try. We have unit 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you can see we're going through the Industrial Revolution all the way into the Roaring 20s. Okay, so that's quite a bit of stuff to cover for this try. But that's how we handle the course. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. All of that formative work, remember, goes into the 20% category where the summative is worth 80%. And so you want to make sure that you're prepared for those tests and quizzes that come in there. And it's mostly just tests in this course. And so as we're going through there, just make sure you're prepared for them. But those formatives, those daily assignments, those help you be successful on those longer assignments or in those longer units, right? So do your best, make sure you're preparing on those. Each daily assignment comes out to about 0.5% of your grade. So if you're looking at big picture towards the end of the try, you don't want to miss too many of those. One, because it helps you on the summative because it's your overall learning. But two, it's worth about 0.5%, so you don't want to keep missing that 0.5%. And so that's the big things with our course, making sure that you understand how to access each one of these units, and then making sure that you know how to access the formatives with the textbook, the online resources that I give you, whether it be the textbook, videos, whatever it is, and then making sure that you're preparing for those summatives at the end. So that's just kind of a quick overview. A big thing that you want to do is make sure that you go into our course and you want to go through things like our resource folder, and that includes stuff like our retake policy, course syllabus. It has our online textbooks, has everything in there. Now, for a lot of you, they want to know what our retake policy is. Our retake policy is you can definitely retake any of the summatives that you need to and the formatives, but if you're going to retake a summative, I ask that you have everything that you need done for that unit. So you have to have all assignments done for that unit in order to take that retake. Now that just ensures that you've covered all the information that we covered in that unit and that you've prepared for that test. So hopefully that works for everybody. But you have everything in here that you need, including a tech help request form if you're having trouble, a speech to text extension. You have our discussion board. You have everything in there. Then if you go into our orientation folder, what you're going to see in there is you're going to have this video right on top. So you're in the right place if you found that. You have my bio, office hours, a Sawashko online letter. So you have a little bit of everything in those folders. You are going to spend most of your time in that current folder. The most important thing for most people is getting started right away for the try. So let's get going on that. Let me know what questions you have. Welcome to US History B, and I look forward to working with you this try.